I'm going to pause here because I know that you're going to be mad at me. I know you're going to be mad at me for saying all of this factual information. I know what you're going to say. I know what you want to say. But Iran supports Palestine. They support Gaza. The Houthis support Gaza. What are you talking about, Shaheed? Yes, the Houthis have launched drones against Israel. Yes, they have. I don't say they didn't. They disrupted the shipping lanes in the Red Sea in support of Gaza. Yes, they did. They did that. They also massacred Muslims in Yemen. Iran supported Hamas. Yes, they did for a while when they were exclusively a fighting force. But they dropped Hamas the second that they became a government. And they dropped them when they refused to follow Iran's orders and go fight for Bashar al-Assad against the Muslims. They dropped them for that. And they did not support Hamas. They did not support Hamas, and they did not support Gaza financially since almost 20 years ago. As I said before, Hezbollah, for example, that you all love, was not created for Palestine. It was created to try to gain control over Lebanon. And the Houthis were not supported because of any support that they had for Palestine. They were supported exclusively to gain control and to gain influence in Jazirat al-Arab. So let's be factual here. Let's tell the truth. Okay? Houthis launched attacks that impacted Israel. Hezbollah has done so as well. And also, both groups have slaughtered thousands upon thousands of Muslims. And furthermore, Hamas's unwillingness to slaughter other Muslims for the sake of Bashar al-Assad upon the orders of Iran, they got dropped by Iran over there. Look, Iranian posturing and even their actual acts against Israel that are just recent, that doesn't put 22,000 Iraqi Muslims back in their homes. That doesn't unkill all of the Syrians who were murdered by those Iranian militias, Iranian-backed militias. No, Iran has more Muslim blood on their hands than any country in the region that calls itself Muslim. That's not provocation. This is just accounting. This is just honest accounting, whether you like it or not. And here's what makes it worse. Iran built its entire political identity, its entire claim to global sympathy, Muslim sympathy, on the narrative of resistance, on the image that they're standing up against Zionism, standing up against imperialism and so forth, on the language of Islamic brotherhood and the language of Islamic solidarity and so on and so forth, while running death squads against Muslims in Baghdad, in Syria, in Lebanon, and in Yemen. Death squads. Okay, these two things cannot coexist in an honest analysis. You cannot present yourself as the defender of Muslim life while your proxies are ethnically cleansing Muslim neighborhoods by the thousands. No, I'm sorry, you cannot claim Islamic solidarity while pouring money and pouring weapons into a regime that is barrel bombing its own Muslim population. Yes, okay, the Gulf states get condemned, and sometimes fairly, criticized fairly sometimes for their involvement in Sudan, in Libya, in Yemen, and so forth. And those criticisms should be made when they can be made fairly, which you all almost never can do. But you should at least try to bring that same energetic criticism against Tehran for their decades upon decades of crimes against the Muslims. Because your selective outrage is not analysis, it's tribalism, it's sectarianism, and that's what got us here in the first place. And you understand, Iran's sectarian project that they were doing in Iraq, this didn't just kill Muslims directly. They weren't just killing Muslims directly with their militias. With the sectarian government in Iraq, there was marginalization, systematic marginalization and humiliation of the Muslims in Iraq if you didn't belong to that sect. And that created conditions in Iraq in which ISIS could grow. Their behavior created the fertile ground for radicalization, and that benefited Iran, and that benefited the United States of America, and that benefited Israel. That's the full picture. That's the full picture. That's the honest accounting. Inshallah, bi'idhnillah, we're trying to be honest and objective. We try to hold the full picture. We don't let anybody off the hook. We don't let America off the hook. We don't let Israel off the hook. We don't let Iran off the hook. This is a RICO case. This isn't just an individual indictment.